Good morning, we did it, we made it out of 2020. We went to sleep on Thursday night and we woke up and it was a new year. Happy New Year. Let's get this week started. But first, coffee. Lovely lockdown weekend, which I love. I do love a quiet weekend. New Year's Eve party was huge. We had a massive party on Thursday night. No, we didn't really. So there was a quiet night in. We actually streamed a concert from somebody I mentioned last week, Kylie Minogue. She's going to have to be maybe this week's music recommendation, but maybe I'll need another half an hour for that vlog. In our pyjamas, on the sofa, with a little bit of living room dancing and not free drinks, but much cheaper than if we were a real concert. So I think that's the way forward. We also took down the Christmas decorations. No Christmas tree, no Kylie in the corner. Careful. And it's nice, isn't it, when you get back to normal? And I didn't want to go into... We did that on Saturday, so right at the start of the new year, 2nd of January, because I didn't want to get to Monday and then still have them around. So I know it's a bit early, don't hate on me for that. But yeah, back to normal there. And then I did a little bit of vlog editing to get episode 3 out yesterday, so that's all good. And yeah, new week, here we are. Let's see what this week brings. My plan for this week, it's a little bit more back to normal this week, isn't it? So there will be, as always, YouTube filming and editing for the Wednesday shiny videos. I have some client work that I need to get done this week ahead of next week. And I think this week you're going to probably just see me try and get my life a little bit in order and a little bit organised. I showed you a few weeks ago I got a nice massive big wall planner, which I'm hoping I kind of need this year, unlike last year. So I'm going to give that some of my attention, maybe today. And yeah, there's other stuff. There's like things I want to give a bit of a clear out to and just kind of Marie Kondo my life a little bit this week, because I think just to help with some of the clutter in here, get rid of some of the physical clutter from my life. In non-worky news, there is big expectations for a PlayStation 5 this week, which I'm very excited about. So keep everything crossed for me. You might see that happen this week. And then other than that, just need to get, because I had my little bit of a dip last week, you might have seen, need to get my head straight in terms of exercise and just getting a bit of a mini temporary routine for that side of things while the gym is shut during lockdown. So I'm expecting lots of dog walks, and maybe even some home workouts and stuff like that, but we shall see. How's your first week back been? I'd love to know. Let me know in the comments, because it's a struggle to get back into it, isn't it? I have done stuff. We had a nice dog walk on the beach. It was very cold, but it was nice. It's what I needed for my mindset, I think, because I was just sat here earlier and I was really struggling. I was like, right, I'll plan this week's YouTube video. I've had a bit of an epiphany with my weekly Wednesday shiny YouTube videos, which I might tell you about later in the week. It's still kind of percolating in here. I've set up for a live event that I'm going to do on Wednesday. That was a bit of a tick. But yeah, otherwise I've been like, oh god, a bit of a struggle today. I think there's this thing that we expect to get straight back into it, and I'm just being a bit more gracious with myself this week and just kind of easing into it a little bit more gently. I'm just about to do my first Instagram live of 2021, and if you don't follow me on Instagram, chrismooney.learning, if you get anything out of my random ramblings from the vlog, I would love to connect with you over there. because I do go live on there quite a lot and talk about mindset stuff. So I'm just going to do that. I have yet to start on the wall calendar and clearing out my cupboard. Maybe I'll get into that today. Maybe I won't. We made it. We did it. We got out of 2020 and here we are. Have an amazing Monday evening. Still questioning what day it is. And I will see you soon. Bye for now. Wall planner done. Isn't it amazing when you just feel like you've got your life that tiny little bit more sorted? I'm just hoping that I get to use my wall planner this year, because it's so helpful for me to just be able to come over and go, right, what am I doing here? Where can I do this? What can I do? It's not all cancelled like 2020 was. So that's it. It's about 10 to 6 now in the evening. I've just kept chipping away. I've done another couple of things on my to-do list, so I'm feeling kind of productive. I might do 1 or 2 more little bits to get myself prepped for tomorrow. There is talk of another government briefing this evening to announce even tighter lockdown restrictions here in the UK. So let's see what that brings in terms of the old mindset. I'm hoping that I worked through lots of my crap last week. I'm not even sure I'm going to include this when I come to edit in the vlog for that first announcement of a bigger lockdown, but we shall see. I'm feeling in a good place in my mindset. First day back at work properly in 2021. I mean, you can't ask for more than that, can you? That's it. Yes, another big old lockdown. I'm not quite sure how it differs from tier 4 lockdown, but everything's locked down. It's kind of back to how it was initially, sort of thing, I think. I'm all right though. I'm okay. Unlike last week where I could feel myself, I feel like I've kind of adjusted. It's no surprise, like everyone knew it was coming. I'm kind of doing okay. I'm keeping myself busy. I could do with doing some exercise, and I know that would help my mindset, but you know what it's like when you know something will help but you just don't want to do it. So I'm thinking I might compromise myself and do another big dog walk today, and then that will happen. I'll get back into it, because it truly will help, and I know that. Yes, today some YouTube stuff, some filming. Might check back in later and tell you what I was thinking about with that stuff. Still no PlayStation 5 news, boo. But we are keeping our eyes out all day, every day. I've just put out a bit of a post on my channels just to say that wherever you are with this stuff, if you are having a bad day, sometimes that positivity feels like it's just never going to come back. And I guess to you, if that's a bit where you are, I say that's totally okay. It's fine to feel that way, and it's okay to talk about it as well. And as much as it often feels like we might be on our own with this stuff, we are not. So we just need to give ourselves that time and that space to feel however we're feeling. And if we're feeling okay, then make the most of those times when we're feeling okay. And if we don't feel okay, don't feel the need to rush ourselves through how we're feeling. Give yourself permission to feel that. And there is always support around. Sometimes it's formal support, sometimes from your friends, your family, whoever it might be. But there is always support there. Just do whatever you need to do at the minute. I think sometimes, especially at the moment, as everyone's banging on about, just getting out of bed and facing the world is enough. Can you hear Sean banging away on the phone? So loud. Yeah, I'm not looking forward to doing any YouTube filming today. I've got Motormouth in the background. Whenever he's on the phone to a company, as he is now, you'd think he's on the phone to his best mate. Which I love, because he can do that so brilliantly. What does that mean? So then I don't have to. Oh, what a day. Let me see, since I last checked in, it's been an okay day. I think I said, I'm feeling alright. That's what I get for showing off. Again, just kind of chipping away. at the back of my mind, all this bloody lockdown stuff. I won't whinge on about it. We all know how crap it is. But yeah, I had 2 days work drop out of my calendar, which I made look beautiful last night. So that didn't help. But what I did, mindset tip hack for you here, if you're not in the club, was I did a lot of reframing. So I have lots of plans for my business, and I thought, well, you know what, that's okay, because even though I'm losing a bit of money there, I will put that time back into the business, and it will let me work on lots of my plans and stuff. So, and I like doing that because I think that's important. Otherwise, we're always focusing on what we've lost, and any number of new opportunities could come from that new time that I've got. So well, that's quite good. It's been an okay day, but again, just sitting there. I'll tell you tomorrow what I'm planning on the YouTube side of things, because I can't be bothered. It's the evening and I just want to put my pajamas on and just kind of slump tonight, to be honest. What did really help, shocker, you will not believe what I just did. Yes, I walked the dogs, but it was a bit of a mammoth one, 4 miles, and so I had a good old stomp down to the beach and back with Sean, and I think that really helped, just to blow the cobwebs away. It seems like, looking on my social media and my network and stuff like that, it seems like today has really taken hold for a lot of people, because a lot of people I've been talking to today and messaging on the socials have been really struggling today. So I don't know if it's because here in the UK and the news hit last night and we all kind of knew, but still you might know something, but then when it actually happens, when you've got no control over it, or anything like that, it's a different story. So many of us what's the saying I like? We're not all in the same boat, but we're in the same storm. I kind of like that, because we're not all in the same situation. Lots of people I know being impacted really negatively by it. And just doing my little bit to try and help them where I can, as well as they do for me, which I'm so supportive of, so appreciative of. There's been a lot of it going on today, I think. And I think that's the way it's set to go, isn't it? That's the way it will just continue, and we just have to ride it out, and we just have to see. We are now up to 6th or 7th holiday postponed / cancelled today as well. So we were meant to be going away next month for a week in Cornwall. That has been put back now till March. Whether that happens, we're thinking our April stuff's going to get pushed back. Blah, blah, blah. Just want to go on holiday. Just want to go somewhere that's not my sofa. That would be nice right about now. Morning. New YouTube video has just gone live. Any fans, if I have a couple of new fans for the vlog, you'll know on Wednesday morning I like to be here when the new video publishes and just respond to the initial comments and stuff. This week it is all about how to respond rather than react. You know those moments when we go, you're making me really mad, and there is another way, we can do it. So check that one out if it sounds interesting. I've said the other day, didn't I, I've had a bit of a brainwave when it comes to YouTube, and this one's kind of 2 parts, and I think mindset wise it's an important point. I'll try and keep it quite brief though, but because if you're not into the whole doing YouTube stuff, it's probably less interesting. But it's a lot. It's like the filming's the easy bit, and even the editing to a degree. I'm pretty geeky with that stuff, but it's a lot. Then you got to think, okay, how do I optimize it to get people to find it? And then I've got to do a blog to go with it, and then the thumbnail's got to be really appealing and blah blah blah. And I have been really good. There's a real good back catalogue of, I feel, good videos. Yeah, I'm going to say it. Yeah, I said that last week. We don't say that often enough. I think they're pretty good. And I have forward planned the next 2 or 3 weeks of Wednesday videos. So anyway, that gives me a little bit of breathing space just to press pause and just to think about, okay, how do I want the videos to be going forward? Because I think especially now with the vlog as well, I'm at risk of just producing stuff for the sake of it and not really believing in it. And I would never want to do that. I wouldn't want to do that for you, and I wouldn't want to do it for me, because what's the point? So I'm just going to press pause, which I'm quite excited about, just to have a little Wednesday break. Like I say, there'll still be the next few Wednesdays coming out. What that means is it's created me a little bit more space to do this thing. I don't know if you've heard of them, but they're called YouTube Shorts, right? I hadn't heard of them till recently. I think it's YouTube's idea to come out with, as a bit of a response to TikTok and Instagram Reels and stuff like that. Little 60-second videos. And I think that there's a lot that I can do there to kind of get across one big message in 60 seconds in a kind of cool, creative kind of way. So that's excited me a little bit this week. I did my first one yesterday and sorted that out. Here are my 3 tips to help your mindset and confidence in front of the camera, which will go live, publish on this Friday, and it's about camera confidence tips for any of us sitting in front of the camera for remote meetings and online training and stuff like that. And I think it's like 50 seconds, and I've put in 3 tips, so I'm pleased enough with it as a first one to dip my toe in. We shall see how it goes. Today's plan is I am going to do some exercise, and please don't worry, there's not going to be a sped up time-lapsey video of it, because nobody needs to see Chris doing exercise. It's not a pretty sight. I feel like I need to do that, because as much as I'm in a good place with the YouTube stuff from this morning and stuff, I'm feeling it's just a bit I'm just feeling a bit blah, so I feel like I know that exercise will help with that today. You see this cupboard here? Maybe I'll show you later. It is full of so much rubbish that's just been shoved in there. When I open the door, it all kind of falls out at me. So I might just do some decluttering, which will help in here as well, to kind of get that straight for this year. And then I have another interesting thing going on in here today, is that I have another live event where I'm going to be streaming. I call it streaming across, multicasting. Ooh. Someone's at front door. Who is it? It's toilet roll. There you go. Always essential. So yes, I call it multicasting across the interweb, and it's going to be across my Facebook page, here on YouTube, and my LinkedIn page as well. And if you remember, if you did see episode 1, I had a massive imposter syndrome wobble about that. Why do I keep doing this to myself? Why do I keep putting myself in these situations? Yeah, I do loads of live stuff, loads of camera stuff, but just that element of that one in particular kind of got in here and really started to mess about in my mind. So now I've had that experience, I'm using that in a mindset positivity kind of way to say, well, that went okay, that went really well, I did it. There's no reason at all why today shouldn't go well. I've done my prep, I've put it out there, anyone who wants to be there will be there. No imposter syndrome today. I think that's important when it comes to this stuff, is that power of the inner voice and the inner critic, and we do have control there in how we respond, not react to it. I'm having a bad day. You know my quote? Sometimes in a world of constant chaos, the one thing we can control is where we put our focus. I'm changing it. Yeah, I'm changing it because it's been there for a few months. I like a quote. I feel like I need a new one today. And I've got one. You'll have to come back to find out what it is, because it takes bloody ages. I haven't done it before, but I got it delivered with that quote on it. Yeah, I don't know. It's not just the week. I said last week or the week before, or both weeks, I was like, oh, I'm sure some weeks I'll have, I'll have a great week and blah, blah, blah. And seriously, I'm not just making this stuff up. And if you're anything like me, just mindset, that's the whole point of the vlog, isn't it? Is that it's just so up and down at the minute, and a lot of down. Yeah, a lot of down. If I'm being really, really brutally honest with you, without going into the detail, there's some stuff that's, a bit sensitive that I shouldn't probably share client-wise. When you just put in a lot of flipping effort for nothing back, And it's like, oh, why do I bother sometimes? Had another day drop out of my calendar work-wise today. And again, this morning I did that reframe and I was talking about yesterday where I was like, okay, more time for this, that and the other. But just that and a couple of other little bits today, I was like, why do I bother sometimes? Do you ever get that? I have just finished my live event where I was Facebook, YouTube and LinkedIn, and it went brilliantly. If you look back on these vlogs to week 1, I had a lot of imposter syndrome show up about something like that, and I really actively managed it today. I mentioned earlier about looking back and reflecting on that and that experience and what that taught me, and I remembered how well it went and all that kind of stuff. It was amazing, and I had lots of people there who contributed. It was just amazing. I'm not going to lie though, I'm still having a bit of a day, so I had to really psych myself up. There was a lot of loud music going on in here, but check this out. I love it. Now I have adapted my new quote. It should read, "No one is you and that is your superpower." Never forget that. But I've adapted it because I wanted it to talk to me. And already I've come over here at least 4 times this afternoon and I've stood and looked at it and gone, yeah, no, it's me. Only I can do me. Good for mindset. Now, less positively, look at the state of this cupboard. Look, I open it and stuff, it just falls out. Look at the state of that. All that stationery, all that crap in there. I'm going to try and sort out a little bit as well, yeah. And it's been like that for probably 3 years in varying forms. I'm going to give that a go now because I've been putting it off for days now. Oh, worst clear out ever. I don't know. I mean, does it look any better? Board games, flip chart paper. There's quite a lot of room on this one. Look what an Apple geek I am though. That's just all my Apple stuff in progress in case I want to sell it. And then that's a bit tidier, I suppose. Yeah, but look at this, check this out. That's what I'm getting rid of. That's quite an achievement. Not sure how I'm going to fit it all in the bin, but I think that's quite good. And finally, I thought you'd like to see a funny picture. This is, look, there's young Chris. That was some politician's wife who visited us, and we had to look interested in what she was showing us on the screen because we were the 3 computer nerds. That's me and Gavin Andrews and Paul Schofield. Hope you're well, guys, whatever you're doing in the world. And apparently, I feel like it's important to keep 6 rulers. Not sure. But then I also don't like waste. So I'm like, I'm just in case, just in case. And then this is not Apple stuff. This is my first ever TomTom navigation. I'm like, I never use it again, but I really don't want to throw it away. Yeah, anyway, so got to work out what to do with all this now. Probably just one entry from me today because, quite frankly, today can do one. So when did you last see me? I cleared out my cupboard. That gave me a little bit of a, productive. And remember I said get rid of the clutter, then it helps to declutter your mind sometimes. So that was all good. But yeah, still feeling that kind of mahness with some of the work stuff. When I was saying that effort that you have to put in, for very little return sometimes. Anyone in my self-employed club might know what I'm talking about with that one. So I'll be really honest, I have taken today off and I'm lucky enough that I'm able to do that. And one of my good friends actually reminded me this morning that even though I've done that, it's not like I don't do work at the weekends, quite a lot of work sometimes. And I thought, I forgot about that actually. So this is just like my day off through the week because I'll do stuff Saturday and Sunday. So I'm doing that today. When I've done with this, I'm getting quite into How to Get Away with Murder on Netflix. I'm quite enjoying that at the minute. I'm still quite early on. If this is your first episode, then you might not know that towards the end of each episode, I reflect on what I'm grateful for. And it feels like I need to do that more this week than some of the other episodes. So what we do is we dip into my gratitude jar. You can do this any way you want. This is just the way that works for me. I feel like it's going to be really good to do this today, because remember, if you watch, then the benefit of doing this stuff is not only that it reminds you and you can reflect on what you're grateful for, but when you're having a bit of a day, like I'm having today, you can dip into it to remind you that all is not as bad as it might seem. Let's do it. I'm gonna try and get quite low, because the last few weeks it's been quite recent. This one was from back in August. I had done some virtual facilitation to a massive group. Normally I'll deliver training to groups of maybe 20-ish, no more than that. That's generally the kind of highest it would go. But this one was for over 100, which I've done a few times, but it went so well. And I was glad to have gotten that one done and done well. I had been invited to be a guest on a podcast, which had a great response. In fact, if you're into podcasts, the guy's name is lovely guy, Ricky Locke, with an E, and it's called Unlocked. Do you see what he did there? And I spent about an hour or so chatting with him about resilience and mindset. Sometimes we just need that reminder that we have faced tough times before, and you know what's going to happen. We'll get through this big period of change, and something else is going to come along and blindside us. And apparently he tells me that it's been one of his most popular episodes, and it's a good listen if you're into that kind of stuff. I had loads of training design coming up, which was good, and I'd stayed on track. I hadn't procrastinated with the design work that I had, so that pleased me. Oh yeah, there was some other exciting stuff that might be coming in the pipeline, and it did come to fruition a few months later. And yeah, I was just really pleased with how I'd put myself out there. I'd done the podcast, I'd kept up with my YouTube stuff, and I'd done a couple of other bits, collaborating with other people to put ourselves out there a little bit. Yeah, feels like I need that little reminder today. Seriously, if you don't do anything like this, I really strongly urge you to. Okay, so I've already done my gratitude for this week. I feel like when I'm going to edit this, there's going to be quite a lot of time-lapsey stuff, so I thought sped up stuff, so I thought, I won't do that. It was harder this week in terms of COVID, but me and Sean were safe and well. The people I love are safe and well, and in the UK, apparently the stat that we're hearing at the minute is 1 in 50 people have gotten it, and I think, well, that's a lot, so we're pretty lucky. And we have also in the UK here passed some pretty grim milestones, as other places are as well. But so I think, well, that's something to be grateful for. Even though I've been feeling just up and down, just a bit, I think covers it. A bit low with work stuff this week. That effort that I mentioned, putting all that effort in. I need to remember that I have come a long way. I mentioned a bit like this last week when I reflected on the year. I've come a long way in a year, and what I need to remember is that I never know what results might come from some of the stuff that I'm doing now. Does that make sense? So like, even when I'm sat there and I'm like, oh, why am I doing this? Why am I bothering? You just don't know what might happen 2, 3, 6 months down the line. And I think that's important to remember sometimes. There is always generally something that we can find, and I totally accept that it can be really hard to find it. So another up and down week. I'm kind of hoping that I just have quite an up week sometime soon. That would be quite different. I do genuinely believe that is mindset all over, not just because of everything that's going on at the minute. There's always a lot going on. Mindset is just so up and down. My advice to you is maximise the up. Maximise the ups. The couple of little up points that you saw me have this week when I did my live, and I got a bit of a buzz off that. When I cleared the cupboard even and got a bit of a buzz off that. Even if it's silly stuff, that kind of lifts us up a couple of points, I think just ring that for all it's worth. And the low stuff, just go with it. Just go with the flow, is my advice to you. And sorts of stuff I was doing this week to help myself was a lot of reframing, particularly with those cancelled days from my work diary. diary, a bit of managing my imposter syndrome. So I used all my experience from before to kind of get me through that live this week. And again, no imposter syndrome showed up. Just tune into what you have going on. I think so often we don't just tune in to how we're feeling, to those little signals that our body's sending us. I think our body tries to help us and do so much for us. That is it for another episode. If you made it this far, as always, thank you so much. Your support, your messages, even if it's a little like on the video, really do mean so much. Stay safe, look after yourself, and I will see you next week. Bye.